Hi, 大家好.
I
Oh,
thought
wait.
it's English.
Oh, hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Today we're going to talk about a case that is the patient was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism. So basically, too much thyroid hormones, and so everything in her body was kind of very hyperactive, being like too overactive. So she, what happened was she basically had very rapid weight loss. She lost her weight, I think, a few kilograms a month, and she was originally a little bit a chubby person, and then she lost.
She needs
Eh?
on-air entertainment.
Oh, it's gonna break the headphone.
Mommy is going to buy an
Oh,
one.
okay, fine.
We
Anyway.
are bad parents. Really
Anyways,
bad parents.
so the patient had rapid weight loss. She lost a lot of weight within a few weeks, and and then she also has a very excessive hair loss. So each time she takes a shower, a chunk of hair would kind of fall out. So she was that kind of she was really afraid to take a shower just because of that. So she tried to avoid washing her hair as much as she could, just because of the hair loss. And then when you're have hyperthyroid, you tend to get very hot. You feel very hot. And this person, when she was sitting at home, she pretty much has a fan kind of blowing at her constantly when she's sitting in the living room. And then another thing is that her digestive system is considered too active, so the food just passed through her digestive system without her actual her stomach and actually kind of process the food. So she has like loose stool or diarrhea 8 to 9 times a day, and you can see like undigested food in her stool. So that's basically the main symptoms that she was experiencing. So she went to her family doctor and then did a blood test. She was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism, and the blood test came back, the TSH, the hormone level, thyroid hormone level was 0.008. So meaning there's too much hormones, thyroid hormones, so causing this number being too low. Yeah, that's how you look at it. So the doctor prescribed like anti-hyperthyroid drugs, and she was supposed to take 3 pills a day, and so she didn't see me back then, and so she listened to her GP and started taking the pills, and then everything kind of just cool down and slow down, so she no longer feels so hot. But the drugs prescribed was the dosage was a little bit too high, so she actually began to feel very cold. So she needs to put on more clothing than other people. She basically doesn't like the cold, and she doesn't feel hot anymore. And the weight loss has kind of stopped a little bit, and diarrhea has kind of toned down a bit to like 2-3 times a day. But she still had the excessive hair loss at that time. And after about 2-3 months of taking the pill, she noticed that her legs became very weak. She couldn't stand for more than like 10 minutes. So she's a stay-home mom. So when she cooks for her family, she has to stand for like half an hour from the beginning to the end, and she told me that she actually needs to sit down and rest kind of 2-3 times during the period that she has to cook a meal. So when I saw her, I gave her in the beginning, I kind of just help her with her legs, so she's able to walk and then stand for a little bit longer. So we did like acupuncture sessions, 4 sessions in a row in 4 days, so one each day. And then after that, she realized that she's able to stand for the whole period of time when she cooks, so she doesn't need to take breaks anymore, and she's able to take a bit of walk around her neighborhood, maybe like 10 minutes or so, and then it's getting better and better. And so besides acupuncture, I also, based on her symptoms, her body type, I prescribed herbal medicine for her to take. And in the Chinese medicine way of thinking is different compared to the Western medicine. So when the Western medicine thinks that everything is hyperactive, they try to try everything they can to slow you down, right? So, but in Chinese medicine, when we see a patient has like a diarrhea 8 to 9 times a day with undigested food, it's actually considered as a very like extreme cold type of symptoms. So in Chinese medicine, when you see something that's hyperactive, it tends to be like has a heat type of symptoms. So feeling hot, everything's swelling, or this person likes to drink very cold water and has constipation. So like heat is consuming all the fluids in your body. But however, this patient doesn't have that kind of problem. Even though she likes to drink cold water, but the main symptom is her diarrhea. And when you have diarrhea that many times a day with undigested food, that means your digestive system doesn't have enough heat to properly cook the food that you eat. So it comes out as the original form. So in the beginning, I kind of gave her a mixture of heat and cold type of herbal medicine. So there is a formula called Bai Hu Tang, which has Shi Gao, is a very cooling type of herbal medicine. And then I also gave her some warming herbs to help warm up her intestine and digestive system. So because in the beginning, what her symptom represent was that there is a lot of heat in the upper body, upper chest, in the face, so that's why she feels thirsty. She wants to drink ice water. But in the lower part of the body, it's very cold, so there's no energy to cook the food, to help with the digestion. So that's why I gave her a mixture of hot and cold herbs. But when you think of it, it doesn't really cancel out. When you prescribe cold herb, it works for example, Shi Gao works for lungs and upper chest, and Fuzi works for lower body and then GI tracts and kidneys, and basically just lower part of the body. So you're cooling the upper part of the body, healing the lower part of the body. But then after a week or so, this patient still, the diarrhea doesn't improve much, even though she feel less thirsty. She didn't want to drink as water as a cold water as much as she used to. So then the next week I kind of changed the ratio a bit to reduce the cooling herb to increase the heating the warming herbs. But then the result wasn't so great. And then when I was contemplating on what to do, actually my wife here gave me a better idea of what she's like. Just do whatever you think is right. Don't be afraid of what's gonna happen. So I quickly made my decision to remove all the cooling herbs and gave her like a really, really warm herbs to warm up her digestive system. So the formula is called 父子理中汤. So it's for a person who has like really, really watery diarrhea and with undigested food and cold limbs. So basically like a really hot type of herbs to quickly warm her up. And then a week after that, and her diarrhea kind of slowed down a little bit. It became just like a loose stool once or twice a day. And the hair loss seems to slow down a bit. So I told her to keep taking that formula until your bowel movement is regular, like once a day, formed sausage shape, no loose stool, no undigested food. So she took that for a month, and then she reported back that her hair loss stopped, and she was quite happy about it. And then when she went for the blood test, like 3 months after she took the herbal medicine, her TSH level was pretty within normal range, a little bit on the low side, 2.21, and the doctor kind of agreed to reduce the pills from 3 to 2 per day, and keep monitoring. So she keep taking the same formula for another October, November, December, January. So like actually 4 more months, and that's when she went back again for another blood test, and this time the TSH level is 3.07, which is perfect, and her doctor agreed to kind of stop the drugs for 6 weeks to see how after 6 weeks to do another blood test, see how her body works, how her body is reacting when without the drugs. So after 6 weeks without drugs and continuing the herbal medicine, she was the TSH level was still within normal range, so the doctor agreed to completely stop her drugs, and she was very happy that she doesn't need to take the drugs for the rest of her life. And her legs are so much better. She's able to walk for 30 minutes plus around her neighborhood. Hair loss stopped, hot flash stopped, weight gained back a little bit, so to like a normal healthy weight. But her bowel movement wasn't completely normal yet, so I told her like just keep taking the medicine, don't stop. And so this actually happened in around summer of 2016, so it's been a year and a half, and recently she noticed a little bit rebound on the TSH level, so she's coming back to see me again. We're gonna take a look at see what's going on with her body, because I haven't seen her for a year and a half pretty much. So I'll keep everyone posted and update everyone with her current symptoms and what medicine I'm prescribing her. So that's pretty much it.
I have a question about her hair loss situation. Does that mean that if when our body is cold, we tend to lose hair? Not like meaning we are cold from the weather, but just our system. So that means we don't have enough of yang energy to hold the hair. That's the reason why it's causing her hair loss, or there's something more complex.
Actually,
and
it's
just the cold.
it's hard to answer in this case. So normally our body temperature is supposed to be balanced. So there is a cooling part of our body and warming part of our body, and it's like if you have seen the yin and yang symbol, so it's like so it looks like that. Oh, maybe I'll do that. So it looks like that. So one part is yang, we can consider as a positive energy, and the other side is yin, is considered as negative energy. Or in terms of heat and cold, it's mixture. It's positive is heat, negative is cold. So a perfect mixture of heat and cold keeps our body at 37 Celsius. So when with her case, when our body is very severely ill, or even when people are dying, this heat and cold can no longer be mixed together. It begins separating. So in her case, it's quite severe that her yin and yang is kind of separating. So she has like very severe diarrhea, cold diarrhea, but then a lot of heat in the upper body, even in the head. So she was craving for ice water, and she was losing a lot of hair. So hair in Chinese medicine is considered, there's a saying that when you have abundance of blood, that blood becomes hair. So basically it means that when your body is fully has enough nutrient, the nutrient can supply your hair growth. So and this nutrient is considered as a yin type of substance. So when there's too much yang, too much heat, it can consume the yin energy, so causing hair loss. I think that's too technical to understand.
Well, but I didn't know that the answer would be so technical. I was looking for simple answer, because the hair loss, hair loss, especially for us having long hair, it happens quite often. So just thought that lately I've been having more severe hair loss situation after my bath. So I was just curious about the reason why we will have hair loss. But how do we prevent that? Is there general guidance, or it's going to be?
Yeah, it's depending on each case, but there's a general idea. So like I said, when you have enough nutrients in your body, the abundance part will go kind of supply for your hair growth. So when you have like a bad digestive system, you cannot turn the food into proper nutrients. So your head and the hair doesn't have enough nutrients, so that will cause hair loss or graying of the hair. So in this patient, because kind of the food that she eats kind of just passes through her body so quickly, she doesn't have enough time to properly transform the food into nutrient to allow her body to absorb. So that's part of the reason that she's
losing hair.
She was losing hair. If you can look at it that way. And another thing for women is that when I say abundance of blood, so when women have menstruation, they're losing blood. When they have too much blood in their menstruation, it can lead to hair loss as well.
Oh, okay.
So that can be another reason, another cause for hair loss. Okay. And we usually need to take a look at why there's too much blood in the menstruation. Either it can be heat, so everything hyperactive, or there is too deficient, so your body is too weak to hold the blood in the blood vessel. So it depends on the case.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
If there are no other questions, then we can finish here, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.